Hello everyone, my name is NTC from Relax Gaming and welcome to my review of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. This is my second game of the franchise. I had only played the remastered version for the PS4, so I was worried there might be some character I don't know or maybe some plot twist I don't understand, but from my point of view, the game story is straightforward, so you won't need to play the previous game to understand this one. The main menu of the game gives you a lot of options to change and customize to fit your playstyle, but they are just basic settings like in any game, so you can just leave to everything at default and you will be good to go. The story in Rift Apart took place as a sequel to the previous game. Start up with a party to celebrate all the hero things Ratchet & Clank has done in the past, just to be interfered by one of their enemies, Dr. Nefarious.
Expect to see you here. Considering my goons were meant to annihilate you 8 minutes ago.
Now after a few fights, Nefarious opened up a portal that lead to another dimension, and by doing so, he made the dimensions collapse on each other. So now your mission is to capture him and get everything back to normal. This is multiverse type of story. We have one of our new main protagonists, Rivet. Now Rivet is basically a female version of Ratchet from another dimension, but I have to admit that I love this new character even more than Ratchet. She's funny, she's brave, and she's cute. The screen time for both of these characters are equal, and I think they should call this game Ratchet Clank and Rivet, because the time you spend with Rivet here is same or even maybe more with the time you spend with Ratchet. Although there are few restrictions because you can only play at Ratchet on some mission and Rivet on the others. I don't think it will make that much of a difference because you basically play the same character but with a different skin. That is for the story. Now to the gameplay. If you have played the previous game, I don't think you will find it much different here. Still, there are tons of weapons that you can obtain during your gameplay by purchasing them from Mrs. Zukon. New equipment automatically be granted for both characters throughout the story. Now each weapon had its own unique upgrades. Some of them are very useful, but some were just unusable or had no impact. The only reason that I can think of if anyone is going to use the weapon is for the trophy. Now if you try to level up all of these weapons, you will find this game is a bit of a challenge, because to level them up you have to use them first and deal damage to your enemy, and as I said, some weapons are just unusable or painfully to use, especially when you enter the arena. The arena is a place where you have to defeat waves of enemies to unlock the prize. It has many stakes, and some stakes require you to use a specific weapon to complete. And here is where the frustration comes in, because I've never used that weapon before, so I didn't put any upgrade to it, which leads to the loop where I was just dying and dying all over again. Now, I don't know if they fixed this or not, but I found out that you don't have to use that weapon, but instead use your melee attack. You can still complete that stake and the condition is fulfilled. After I realized that, the game would suddenly become too easy. Throughout the game, you also come across some pieces of armor, collect enough parts, and you will unlock a new outfit for your character. Each outfit had its own bonus and is automatically granted to you after you complete it, so you can freely customize the way you want and don't have to worry about the stars. Tons of customization here, and some outfit is just real badass. The new ability they added to the gameplay here is the Phantom Dash. Now I love this ability because it gave gameplay more excitement during combat and also an extra option to explore the environment outside of doing main quests and side quests. But one thing I have to mention here is the dash now also is the ability to help you dodge. So unlike the previous game where you can just jump and dodge instantly, this time the enemy's bullet will hit you even while you are jumping away in the air. It took me a while to get used to this mechanic, but when you have learned how to get around, I think you will be satisfied because the dash animation is just beautiful to look at. Whoa! Now Insomniac also improved on Clank gameplay section. His gameplay now focuses more on solving the puzzles rather than running away from a big bad robot. Now I have to give them credit because those sections back in 2016 was just horrible. One thing though that I want Insomniac to change or improve is the flying mechanic. It was completely the same as the remastered version. That means while you are flying away, you cannot move the camera to look around. For example, if I want to look to the right, my only option is to fly to the right to see what is going on. And that is really uncomfortable because I want to know what is happening around my character. But luckily, the flying section only took a little time of the whole game. Wow! So I think they might just look past it? So, to sum it up, the gameplay is intense and fun. So, there are some flaws here and there, but you can definitely just ignore them. What about the graphic? Now this game is one of the newest exclusive games for the PlayStation 5, and unlike the opening title last year for the PS5, in this case I mean Spider-Man Miles Morales, this time I expect Insomniac to make more improvements on both graphic and performance. And they kind of did. The game has 3 graphic modes: the fidelity mode, the performance mode, and the performance ray tracing mode. Now on fidelity, this game is just amazing. The level of detail that they put on the screen, the lighting, the shadow effect, it makes you feel that this is a real next-gen console game. But that is it until you realize you cannot play this mode at 60 FPS. The fidelity mode gives you everything from ray tracing, enhanced lighting, additional FFX, scene density in 4K resolution. The performance mode basically just fidelity but without ray tracing. And the performance ray tracing mode, now here's for us to play a 60 FPS with ray tracing on, we now have to sacrifice basically everything: lighting, VFX, shadow, scene density. And I am a really sensitive person about the little detail that going to change on the screen. That is why once I play this game on fidelity, it's really hard for me not to note the lack of details on the performance ray tracing mode. I will put this in this way. On fidelity mode, all of the details always on the screen, no matter how you move the camera or how you move your character. But on performance ray tracing mode, those details will disappear when you move the camera away, and they slowly coming back when your character get near or when your camera is not moving too fast. Now the bad example on scene density is right at the beginning of the game. I played this game on performance ray tracing mode on my second playthrough to see if I can notice any difference between these two modes. And you can clearly see the difference between the number of the NPC here on the video. I never thought that I had to sacrifice this much to maintain 60 FPS with ray tracing on, especially on a new console. And one thing to mention though is this game actually runs between 1080p and 1440p on performance ray tracing, between 1800p and 4K on fidelity mode. This game is definitely meant to be played at 60 FPS, But after seeing the detail on fidelity and how they got taken away on performance ray tracing, I suggest you guys play your first playthrough on fidelity just to see how beautiful this game is. The thing I don't understand though is why Insomniac doesn't give us an option to play this game at 1080p 60fps with all the details from fidelity mode. Now I know 4K monitors and TV have become more and more general, but 1080p is still a sweet spot. And not all games can go 4K 120Hz, especially if you want to play with ray tracing on. You can play this game at 30fps for sure, and with the intense, fast-pacing action you might not even know the difference. I just wish we have more options to choose how we play our game. Just like on PC, when your PC is not strong enough, you lower your resolution, but you push all the detail to the maximum level. Overall, regardless of what modes you choose to play, I think you will be satisfied with what Insomniac offers here, and that is why my verdict for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is a 7 out of 10. It is a good game in all aspects: gameplay, graphics, story, soundtrack. I enjoyed it a lot. Now according to my save file, the game took me around 23 hours to complete my first playthrough, and by that time I have nearly unlocked everything and got my platinum trophy. I am now on my second playthrough to enjoy the game at 60fps of course, but for some of you who do not that much into exploring and collectible, you may finish this game in just 12 or 15 hours. Please try not to rush the game because you're going to miss a lot if you do. I can see that some of you might not agree with the $70 price tag, but you can easily buy one used now for just like 30 or 40 bucks. And I think that you should give it a try if you haven't bought this game yet. This is a game that I think anyone can play and have fun with, but hey, it's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you on my next episode.